We've got a 20-minute showdown, episode 16. For those of you guys first time here, two entrepreneurs, 3 questions, back and forth. I don't know what he's asking me. He don't know what I'm asking him. We're just going to get at it. So first and foremost, I want to thank Bonzi for joining us. Say, Bonzi, tell everyone your quick 90-second, 2-minute story. What's up, Eric? Your quick 90-second, 2-minute story before we jump to mine.
Thank you, brother.
Mom. Hi, Mom. My mom's on. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Thank you, brother, for inviting me. Thank you, everyone, for having me this morning. Truly appreciate you all very much. My name is Bonzi Saycosie. I was born in Laos, which is one of the smallest country in the world, next to Thailand. I came to America as a refugee kid, spoke 5 words of English, no brother, no sister when I first came. Of course, I always say this all the time. I speak 4 different languages. When I get nervous, all 4 come out at the same times. Please, if you do not understand, slow down, type me up, say Bonzi, slow down. I don't know which language it is. I'm excited to be here. I'm an entrepreneur all my life. You know, Nick has been one of my best friends, and I've been following Nick for all these years. He's one of my original mentor. I'm honored to be a part of this, to learn from him and to grow from him. And I hope you guys enjoyed this morning. With that, back to you, brother.
What are you currently up to, brother? What are you working on currently in your career?
So 2 things I've been involved with. I've been involved with real estate for the past 4 years. It's been going amazing. My passion is helping people. Everything I do is tied to helping people. Another company I just launched beginning of the year called Provide Solutions. We help small businesses. Right now, one of the program we do, we're a program called ERC, Employee Retention Tax Credit. I have a team that help them getting funds from the government money-wise.
Beautiful. Well, let's get at it. Hey, guys, if you don't know my quick story, let me share it with you. Nick from Michigan got involved and introduced the world of entrepreneurship based on kind of like the lowest common denominator, direct sales network marketing. Got started at 18 and failed a lot, but mastered recruiting, mastered handling objections, mastered rejection, mastered sales, and then finally sales leadership. And from there, business became much simpler. Made my first million at 25, became a decamillionaire at 35, was the founder of the Body by Vi 90-day challenge. It was a 15-year run company, 2.2 billion in sales, 3.5 million customers. It was big, but lots of ups and downs, and the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows and everything between. And I like to share, from my experiences of both the successes and the failures to be able to educate. So 20-minute showdown. We gonna get in. What's up, Portugal? I see you. Bonzi, question number 1. How grateful, let me phrase the question correctly, because I know the answer, but I want everyone else to know the answer. Paint a picture of how difficult your childhood was and how grateful you are to be in this country that allows entrepreneurship. I know it's not a question, it's more of a statement, but I would love for the people here to understand the polarity of your story.
Okay, Nick, thank you for asking. So coming into America is very challenging, especially when you only speak 5 words of English. Now, when I come in was my late 79, 1980. So I would say the country is not ready for refugee-wise, meaning I had to go to school based on my age, not based on my skill set-wise. So that was challenging enough to learn the language, the culture-wise. But the cool part about this is that you go through tough challenges because you didn't speak the language, but you actually get to learn to communicate different level of connecting, why? Because you don't speak the language, body language. So I began to learn from that. The challenge is huge, right? Because you don't speak the language and you don't have parents or brother or sister that comes with you. So the huge challenge, why? But I'm honored and I'm super excited. This is the best country in the world for me personally wise. Reason is because you can become anything in this country. If you only pay the price, make all the sacrifice, learn from the best like Nick, his mentorship wise, his teaching wise, skill sets wise. For me, the biggest piece is what Nick taught me is power of belief, what is possible. It doesn't matter where you came from, whether it's Grand Rapids, where as a refugee from Laos, didn't speak the language. It does not matter what matter. You can achieve anything you want. This is the only country that my personal belief that can be. And guess what? I have achieved some of success based on those theories. So looking forward to do more in the future wise.
Let's go deeper. I thought you took it too easy on the early part of the story. How did you get to America?
So how to get to America is back in my birthland, there's conflict. So we had to escape. I didn't know I was escaping my parents. My parents knew that I had better future. So my parents sent me away to escape on the canoe across the Mekong River to Thailand refugee camp. So in refugee camp, I've been there for a couple years. So if you want to go a little bit deeper, I know what it's like to be hungry because in refugee camp, United Nations only feed you just enough. You're always hungry. So didn't speak the language. You're in a refugee camp, different part of the world. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what country is going to sponsor you. So is that deep enough for you?
That's good. That's good. So, saying it back to this group. So your parents put you on a canoe, like a fishing canoe,
Yes,
and basically you were smuggled across the river to a different country.
absolutely.
How old were you?
I was 6.5 years old, 7 years old.
And who did you meet on the other side of the refugee camp? You had all your friends there, you had your family. Like, who was on the other end?
Nobody, because we pay the guide, people that guide us to cross the river. And then you go to refugee camp, you knock on the door, they call United Nations, let you in, you in there and the camp wise. So there's nobody waiting for you at all, nothing.
So 6.5 years old. For give you guys context, my son Nicholas is 6. He'll be 7 at the end of this month. I could not fathom putting him on a canoe, covering him up, paying somebody to take him out of the communist country that I'm in the middle of conflict, to go take him to a refugee camp where you don't know what's waiting on the other end. And bro, how just crazy scared were you? How hard was, like, what were you feeling? Go deeper.
I do remember this part. I remember that we were once we crossed the Mekong River, we still had to hike around the city, which is in the jungle wise. I remember looking up in the moon. It was a bright full moon. I remember that. I knew that was the last time I'll ever see my parents. My aunt was telling me that I was escaped with my aunt and her 5 children, I should say. She was telling me I was crying because I knew that I would never see my family again. So was I scared? I think beyond scared, beyond afraid, because there is no guarantee. There's no mommy when you're sick. There's no mommy when you need love or cuddling. Right? There's no brother, no dad, nothing. You are literally on your own at age 6.5 years old.
You are a strong man, Bonzi. You're a very strong man. How long were you in the refugee camp before, and then what happens next? How long were you there as a
So
six
yeah,
and a half by yourself?
was over 2 years till we get sponsorship wise. So that's why what you do when you're in the refugee camp, they actually have a ID number or alien number is what you would call it, and then they send it out to different part of the world that people would want to sponsor a kid, just like you see a TV sponsor this child. So I was, wow, dude, you're getting me deep a second. So yeah, brought back a little bit of memory there, but yeah, it's still, I mean, honestly, it still hits sometime, because that never goes away. I don't want to say darkness or thing, that pain is always there of what it's like to miss your family.
You had expressed to me in some conversations, and actually you've told a lot of people this. You talked about just how hungry you were, not hungry desire, but literally physically hungry, because there just wasn't food available in the refugee camp. Talk to us a little bit about that. And there's a story that you tell that I'd love for you to share.
Yeah, so in refugee camps, the United Nations features just enough, but you're always hungry. So what I would do is, hang out with the older kids. Late at night, we will sneak out of this refugee camp and we'll go hunt. We're trying to find anything like, so this day I tell my girlfriend all the time, as a child, I say, every time I cross a creek or anything like that, a water form, I said, there's protein in there. Literally, like, bring me back to the childhood, like, I could survive. Give me nearby water. There's something I can eat in there somewhere. So that part.
And you will. I've seen you.
I guess that's why I could almost eat anything. So,
Yeah.
but the story you want to hear in part was, I remember one time I was in a refugee camp. So in the refugee camp, they have some entrepreneurship wise. There's a store that sells canned goods and things like that. It's a little thing for people that entrepreneurship wise. I remember, this story is always a challenge for me to share because it's always embarrassment and so forth wise. But because of your company last has Feed Hungry Kids, which is the matching the charity program that Visalis had in the past, allowed me to tie into that and make something good out of it. So because of that, I can share the story. So I remember that I was in refugee camp and I know exactly what I was wearing, a shirt, short shirt on. I had black shirt on. I know that no shoes. I remember walking in this grocery store, and it's not really a little store shop. I remember I stole a can of sardine, put it in my pocket. I ran out of that store. I mean, I can remember running so fast, like really my feet was off the ground because I didn't want to get caught. And then hide behind the bamboo tree and eat like a wild animal. I never forget myself from that moment wise, and that was the why that I always have a way of giving back, which is I always try to raise money to a charity that feeds hungry kids because of that moment that inspired me to like give back what I've done in the past.
Well, I think you have vindicated your can of sardines that you stole. I think you've long contributed back to society since then. I know I went way deep on your story. I just love your story, and thank you for letting me ask a bunch of follow-up questions. But this is now the actual question of it, which is from where you came from to today. How many people out there do you just see that do not exercise the freedoms that they have here in America to be a great entrepreneur, to have anything they want, to build a dream? What's your thoughts on that?
It's always going to be a challenge because we always have the story that holds us back, right? My story could be a refugee kid, why no parents, no mentorship wise. I'm sure some of us has other stories. Could be your parents didn't teach you, could be your mom, could be any kind of thing that hold you back. The key things is I can't really speak on other behalf and why they don't take the benefit of what the land of opportunity has, because I'm sure it's something holding back. I can only say, what the best way to do for me is I don't think about myself. It's too hard. If you want, for example, if you want to be in shape, you want to work out, things like don't think about yourself because you can quit anytime. If you want to be successful financially wise, don't think about yourself because it's too many things that you have to overcome, embarrassment, rejection wise. Think about what you want to do it for. What is your purpose? So for me is why I think is the best country in the world, and what opportunity wise for me is my mom and my dad. My parents made the ultimate sacrifice to have the life I have. So every day I do, I live for the purpose of them. They want them to be proud of me, not just because be proud of me. It's like, what? This is the land of opportunity. Take opportunity. What's the worst thing can happen? And then just go for it.
Beautiful answer, brother. Thank you so much for letting us share your story here today. And I'm ready for my question number one. Hit me.
All right, brother. My first question is, so ViSalus was a huge stepping stone and a big part of both of our lives. What is your biggest value that you receive from running ViSalus?
The greatest value that I received from running ViSalus was the growth and development of so many people. Like, it was just such an incubator for growth and development, both physically and then obviously financially. But that financially is a byproduct of, what we taught and just the education that we laid out there, and being able to work with so many different people, different countries, different cultures, but all having a common goal, a common outcome. And, I'll always be grateful and be most proud of the success stories we created. And some of those people have gone on now to start companies that do hundreds of millions of dollars a year in sales. So I think of the legacy of where it's trickled down to, right? It's like as we incubated people into just great entrepreneurs and great leaders, what happened next is this person went and did this, and this person went and did that, and this person. There's 13 that I know of. There's 13 solar companies that came out of the leaders from ViSalus. 13 solar companies, right? That who knows what other industries. And so great question. And I think the super short answer to that is the people. I didn't want to give the short answer, which is the people, but just the people, man. And what we got to do, and how we got to be just a ripple effect for people from what they learned. Whether they gained the weight back or they lost all the money, that's less relevant to everything that they got up here. You made millions of dollars in Vi, and what you got to go forward with now is launch new companies and launch new industries, because nobody can take away from you what's up here. So I'm very proud of what we did from the growth of people.
Awesome answer. I feel that. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome, buddy. Great question. Okay, question number 2. Bang, 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 bang. Let's talk about obstacles. Let's talk about obstacles. You obviously still, you've been here for decades, but you still have obstacles that are different than, say, someone like myself that has mastery over the language, mastery over blah 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 blah. What is it about you that keeps you playing at the highest level, keeps you successful, despite not you? I would say you still are, I don't know, 80% language mastery, right? 85 if we're pushing it, but you still win and you still succeed. And this is to create context for people that make all the excuses for not succeeding, that don't have those obstacles. Take it away.
Well, thank you so much for being kind. It is not 85%. I probably think 65% of English barrier was. You're just being too kind, but I'll take it, brother. Appreciate you for that.
Well, you should see your writing.
By the way, he's not kidding on that one. So that's why you have someone in your team that can write for you. So, so I would say the obstacle, what keep me going at this level of entrepreneurship wise, I say my number one reason is, of course, personal development wise, and I don't mean just personal development. I would say the teacher that you brought in our life, John C. Maxwell. So every day I study his. I have a group that I work on personal development wise. I call it the environment growth table. So I have a private group that I do my study with every morning. We talk about what we learned from the book and tie into our personal story. I think it's very, very important if you grow yourself, because no matter where you're at in life, you will have different challenges. If you don't grow yourself to that position wise, you will make the same you're going to make the same decision that will keep you down to that level. So you got to keep growing yourself, create a system, create a routine, and just do it. And every single day, don't do growth just to sell it. Don't do growth. You can if you want to, but do growth to talk to other people. Do growth for yourself. What can you do? How you can become better every single day from yesterday.
So you've overcame the obstacles that you deal with still daily, even in language, to become successful by pouring into personal growth, personal development, business growth, and business development. Is that an accurate recap?
Absolutely. But keep in mind, we don't just learn it to read it, but actually learn to implement it. It's all about what you implement. It's not, a lot of times we read it, just feel good, or talk about it to feel good. No, you actually implement it. And sometimes it's very, very challenging to implement. That's why a lot of time for me in the past, I couldn't do it, because it's hard to do what the lesson needs to become. But you got to implement it. Otherwise, it doesn't count.
Learn and implement. I love it. Learn, and I'm typing that in the notes here. Learn and implement. It's not just learn. This isn't school. There's no report card here. You got to learn, implement, come back, learn some more, implement, come back, and keep growing and keep getting better. Fantastic answer. Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with question number 2.
Number 2, investment questions, right? If you only have $500 to invest into something, what would you invest into now?
An event. I would put $500 into some sort of event that can get you the tools, the inspiration, the dialogues, the skills, the network that can get you on the right track. The last $500 you ever have should be invested in yourself. Period. End of story. So maybe the word event might be too vague, but invest that $500 in yourself, because you are the most valuable asset that you'll ever invest in. It's not your house. It's not, I've got a rental property. I got to this, I got to that. It's great. None of that is more valuable than you investing in you, growing you, having you improve. Follow-up question to that, or is that, what are your thoughts?
This, 1,000%, brother. I think it just ties into what we're just, my last answer is right.
It did. It rolled right in, didn't it?
It did.
But we always have our synergy. That will be, but I am going to want some Thai food, please. So this isn't the question, but everyone should know that Bonzi is chef level Thai and Laos, that region of food. He's chef level. So mango sticky rice. What else I want? Papaya salad, and the chicken minced chicken. Lap guy. Love
Yes.
guy.
Yes.
You got it. All right. Anyone hungry? It's almost lunchtime. I'm starving. All right. So last question for you
Yes.
is, in fact, I might ask you two more, but what was one of the greatest mistakes? I never say the greatest because it freezes people to like what that might be. I don't know. What's one of the greatest mistakes you've made as an entrepreneur, and how did you overcome that?
So I made many mistakes, right? So I would not be here if I didn't make that many mistakes. Let's put it that way. Uh, that's just the facts, right? The best part about my mistake, I get to laugh at it. We know we're laughing at each other all the time. It's because you can't be afraid of it. So the biggest mistake I would say to answer that question would be leadership wise. I didn't have leadership. What I had was the will to win, the one successful, the fight to win, and just went at it, and then just took massive action. When you succeed, you have all they have the eyes and the ears on you. And if you don't grow yourself to the level to where they communicate not only to yourself but also to others, what happened is you're going to run into a brick wall. And if you don't have the right leadership, people will go somewhere else and find it. So, and if you don't have the right leadership, you're going to get hurt. You're going to feel like, why me? Did I? You become selfish, things that. So that's my biggest lesson, is that's why I dive into, again, back onto investment to yourself, back onto personal development. It is because I just didn't have the right leadership, the right growth. That's my biggest one.
If people don't get great leadership, they will leave you. So you said they will.
You would lead them as far as you can lead them, and then once they catch up with you, if you no longer can provide the next level, they will find other teachers.
That makes sense, man. Fantastic and well done. So, guys, what I heard is Bonzi said on this journey of success and the things that he's created, and the results he's created, one of his biggest mistakes was not learning leadership fast enough, and probably and so lost a lot of people because of that. Because he mastered desire, he mastered taking massive action, he mastered overcoming objection, rejection, pain, struggle, all of it. But because he wasn't the leader that he needed to be, he lost people to other leaders. And that's such a beautiful and authentic answer. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you. And me back up to be authentic, but thank you for saying that. I hurt many people along the way because I did not know how to handle certain situation. That one thing, I won't say regret. That's one thing that inspired me to push me to work harder every single day, to be better at my craft, better at my brain, my mind, the way I communicate.
What do you guys think about the conversation so far? Go ahead and jump in the comments here. Feel free to add any of your own tips on leadership, or what are your thoughts on leadership? What are your thoughts on growth and development? Because that's the last couple of questions that we've gone back and forth on here. So I'd love to hear from you what your thoughts are in the comments on how you consider or approach growth, development, and also your thoughts on the topic of leadership. Light us up, light up the board. All right, Bonzi, hit me.
So the last question, dude. The last question is here. So your two children are obviously your everything, right? I really admired you, that you're teaching them entrepreneurship such a young age. Recently, you have a controversy from social media followers over teaching your children needs versus earn. How do you respond to those who don't understand exactly the lesson you are teaching your children?
Bro, these people are nuts. So if you guys want to see what Bonzi is talking about when we're done with the live, go to my wall, and it's the first pinned video. It's up to 650,000 views, 30,000+ shares, which means there's tens of thousands of people that agree with the idea. That's what that means to me. And then there's like 20 very noisy trolls. So here's what the dialogue is. In a reel, you only got 45 seconds to express your opinion, right? So, everyone wants to make 1,000 snap judgments off your 45-second reel. But what I said in the reel is that I always want to teach my kids not that something they wanted was invalid. So pick up a toy, pick up a toy, pick up a toy. Every kid does this. I used to do it. Everyone does it. Mom and dad are watching what's up. But when you pick up the toy, what happens in most language is a parent defaults to, oh, you don't need that. Put it down. Put it down. You don't need that. Put it down. You don't need that. And that becomes programming. That becomes programming all the way into everyone on this line right now. As an adult, you think, well, I don't need that, Ferrari. So I'm just going to get this car. Or I don't need, what do I need a mansion for? I mean, do you really need it? But here's the thing about needs. These are all wants. There's a difference, right? So if you're talking about needs, all you really need is food, shelter, and some love. You don't need this cell phone. You don't need this computer. You don't need it. You wanted it. So if you're going to want something, why the hell do you not want the best? Why the hell do you not want what's available, right? Why do you want to sit in the toilet seat and coach? Don't you want to be in first class? Don't you want to be in a private jet one day? So all of that is about dream building, and it's about removing the limitation for you as an adult. But in this case, my kids, I don't want to create the limitation. So for adults, I'm always trying to remove the limitation. With my kids, I don't want to create the limitation. And that language, you don't need that, said to a kid 1,000 times between ages 3 and 15. It gets embedded all the way down there. It becomes a belief. And it becomes a very strong belief about what you don't need. So in 45 seconds, I was trying to explain to people, I teach my kids what they must do to earn it. So when they pick up, if they pick up this at the store, hey, Daddy, I want this. Okay, no problem. I'm not gonna say you don't need that. It's a want. Okay, well, what do you want to do to earn it? Well, in fact, now I just say, well, ask me the question like, what do I have to do to earn this? Fantastic question. Well, let's look at the price. It's $10. Okay, so it's $10. If you want this, you have to be willing to do enough contribution, work, whatever, to receive $10 to then buy it. So now let me ask you a question. Are you willing to do these couple things? Yes, I am. Okay, I'll pay for it now. We'll go home and we'll do it. And if not, you also cannot get this if you don't want to. And we can go do this work and I'll just give you the $10 and you can put it in your bank, right? So sometimes they're like, yeah, shit, I don't want this. And then they take the cash, right? So the whole thing is about teaching them principles that there is no limitation, that they can go achieve anything that they want. They can go create anything they want. They can earn anything they want. Man, people lost their shit on there. It was hilarious, man. So I had people saying, you're a terrible father. You don't earn the right to be a dad. And it's just like, people like, this is how, God, somebody said, this is how eating disorders are created. I'm like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you people? But here's why I went on this rant right now, because now we're talking again to the parents. We're talking to the adults right now. Here's why I believe I'm getting the nasty responses, because they are not aware enough to realize that they've been programmed so hardcore with you don't need that in their brain, it causes conflict and confrontation to them today. So it's not about me. It's not even about my kids that they're responding about. It's about they're so confronted that they have such a low level of belief, low level of self-esteem, low level of dream, low level of what they can create, right? And that is so confronting to them when they hear someone say to a kid, hey, you can do this. You got this. What do you want to do to earn this, right? So that's the 3 or 4 minute answer to that 40-second reel. Any follow-ups there?
No, dude, I know exactly what you mean. That's why I asked that question. I want to give you the opportunity to explain that, since you have more
Set the record straight.
There you go. Yeah. But you are an awesome dad, dude. I've never met anyone like you, and you definitely you've definitely helped me see such a big picture in life. You definitely have me remove the limitation about refugee, what you could have, what you could be. So I want you to know that I'm going to give you so much credit for that. When you not only teach your children, you have taught me to what is possible and go after it. You don't let anything hold you back. And I don't give you enough credit for that, brother, because you and I are really close. But I want you to know that all of that to you allowed me to go big and go for it all. So I appreciate you for that.
I'm honored with what you just said, but I take zero credit for what you've done, brother. You just I'm just like anyone else that wants to contribute information. I just share and contribute and share and contribute. You and I were aligned financially. That's what I love about models of leadership, when you're aligned financially. So yes, of course, I was incentivized to make sure that Bonzi succeeded at the highest level. But bro, I don't take any credit for your desire, your drive, your willingness to go win. So bravo to you, and that's why you're my brother. Lap guy, sticky
Done.
rice.
I got you.
Let's go. I am going to ask you one final question.
Yes,
3 tips: solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and sales professionals. What are your top 3 tips to them rolling out of here? Hey, make sure you do this, this, and this. Go.
Number 1, make sure to find some form of purpose to tie into what you're doing, because if you don't have a purpose, you don't have a reason why you're going to quit because it's too hard. So you can do for anything you do, financially wise, is to take care of your family, whatever. It's got to go deeper than just money wise, whatever it is. So that's purpose. Number 2, you have to take massive action. Like, you do not stop. No matter anybody tells you no, yes, mate. Do not stop. Keep going. All you're looking for is someone who wants to join you, someone who wants to use your service. Just continue, keep moving. Don't let anything hold you back. The last piece, okay, to win it all, it's just in your head. You are the limitation to everything you do. So it's between you here. That's why winning is not the outside job. Winning is inside your head. How you win is in your head. Make sure you completely win in your head. You walk out, people can feel you, people can sense you. They know exactly what you're doing, you're selling or not. You feel it winning, you smile, you own it. This is your world.
I'm going to call that one, get your head right. So number 1, find purpose. Number 2, take massive action. Number 3, get your head right. And Bonzi, this has been awesome. We are wrapping up episode 26 or 16? 16, episode 16. Bonzi Saycosie, my brother from another mother. We went deep in this guy's story, learn about this guy, follow this guy. Where can they find you, brother?
And my Instagram handle is Bonzi, BONZI LIV, Bonzi Live. That live came from you, brother. Bonzi Live.
And guys, you can find me at nixlinktree.com, nixlinktree.com. That'll connect you to everything that I'm doing and everywhere that you can find me. If you like this, replay it, reshare it, invite some friends, tag some people. Grateful for everybody's participation today, and saw a lot of familiar faces. Hey, Melissa, how are you? And I'm looking forward to doing this again next Tuesday, 11:45 a.m. We'll be back at it with a 20-minute showdown. Thank you so much, Bonzi. I love you. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.